The air crackled with excitement. It was fight night. People laughed and shouted, their voices bouncing off the walls of the huge arena. Bright posters of Ali, looking strong and ready, were plastered everywhere. Outside, food vendors sizzled hot dogs and the smell of popcorn filled the air. Inside, it was even louder. Everyone was eager to see Ali, the greatest boxer of all time, step into the ring. The music thumped, making your heart beat faster. Flashbulbs popped as important people walked by, smiling and waving. Little kids, perched on their parents' shoulders, pointed at the giant boxing ring in the center of the room. You could feel the energy building, like a balloon about to burst. Everyone pushed and shoved a little, trying to get the best spot. The air was thick with anticipation. Tonight was going to be amazing. Even the floor seemed to vibrate with the energy of the crowd. This wasn't just a fight, it was an event. But away from the bright lights and cheering crowds, near the back entrance where the noise wasn't quite so loud, an older man stood alone. He wore dark glasses and held a white cane. He had been with his son, who was supposed to guide him inside, but in the crush of the crowd, they'd become separated. "Hello?" the man called out, his voice a little shaky. "Is anyone there? I can't seem to find my son." He shuffled his feet, tapping his cane on the ground, trying to get his bearings. The sounds of the city, cars honking, buses rumbling, mixed with the distant roar of the crowd, making it hard to know which way to go. He felt lost and a little scared. He just wanted to hear the fight and feel the excitement everyone else was feeling. He gripped his cane tightly, hoping someone would notice him soon. He was completely blind and utterly alone. People rushed past him, their eyes glued to the entrance. They were too excited about the fight to notice the man standing alone. A young boy, clutching a bag of popcorn, bumped into him, mumbled a quick "sorry," and hurried on. A woman in a bright red dress, talking loudly on her phone, stepped right around him without even a glance. Everyone was focused on getting inside, finding their seats, and seeing Ali. It was as if the blind man was invisible. The sounds of their laughter and chatter washed over him, but no one offered a helping hand. He could hear their footsteps fading away, each one taking them further into the arena and leaving him more alone. He sighed, feeling a pang of disappointment. He thought someone would surely stop, but the lure of the fight was too strong. They were all too eager for the spectacle to care about a stranger in need. Inside the arena, in a quieter room backstage, Ali was warming up. He was doing stretches and shadow boxing, getting ready for the biggest fight of his life. But even with all the noise and commotion, he overheard snippets of conversation. A security guard, talking into his walkie-talkie, mentioned a blind man lost outside. "Says he got separated from his kid," the guard mumbled. "Nobody seems to be helping him." Ali paused, his fists clenched. He stopped his warm-up routine. The words hung in the air, cutting through the excitement. He imagined the man, alone and helpless, surrounded by a sea of uncaring faces. He knew he couldn't just stand by and do nothing. The thought of someone in need, especially someone vulnerable, tugged at his heart. He had to do something. He just had to. Without a second thought, Ali turned to his trainer, Angelo. "Angelo, I have to go help that man." Angelo looked surprised. "Ali, the fight, you're about to go on." "I know, Angelo, but I can't just ignore him. He needs help, and nobody else is doing anything." Ali grabbed his robe, the silky fabric shimmering under the lights. He didn't hesitate. There was no debate in his mind. He knew what he had to do. His responsibility as a human being outweighed everything else, even the championship fight. He quickly explained to Angelo that he wouldn't be long. "Just need to guide him inside," he said, his voice filled with determination. Angelo, seeing the unwavering look in Ali's eyes, simply nodded. He knew arguing was pointless. Ali was a force of nature when his heart was set on something. He was more than just a boxer, he was a man of compassion. Pushing through the excited throngs of people, Ali made his way towards the back entrance. He weaved around vendors selling souvenirs and dodged fans eager to get a glimpse of him. He kept his head down, not wanting to cause too much of a commotion. He wasn't looking for attention, he just wanted to help. The energy of the crowd shifted as he moved further away from the main arena. The noise lessened, and he could feel the cool night air on his face. He scanned the area, his eyes searching for a man with a white cane. He knew time was of the essence. The fight was about to start, and the longer he took, the more anxious Angelo would become. But he couldn't leave until he found the man and made sure he was safe. Finding him became his immediate mission. Each step was filled with purpose. Finally, he spotted him. Standing near a lamppost, looking lost and vulnerable, was the blind man. Ali approached him cautiously. "Excuse me," Ali said, his voice gentle and reassuring. "Are you all right, sir?" The man turned his head in the direction of the voice. I seem to have lost my son," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "And I can't see, so I don't know where to go." Ali knelt down, so he was closer to the man's level. "My name is Ali," he said clearly and slowly. "I heard you were having trouble. I'm here to help you." He offered the man a warm smile, even though he knew the man couldn't see it. He wanted to convey kindness and trustworthiness. "I can help you get inside and find a safe place to sit." He extended his hand, waiting for the man to accept it. The man hesitated for a moment, then reached out and took Ali's hand. His grip was surprisingly strong. "Thank you, young man," he said, relief evident in his voice. "I appreciate this more than you know." "It's my pleasure, sir," Ali replied, gently taking the man's arm. "Just lean on me, and I'll guide you." He spoke calmly and confidently, wanting to instill a sense of security in the man. "We'll get you inside where it's warm and you can hear the fight." He carefully positioned the man's arm, making sure he had a firm hold. "There's a small step here," Ali said, guiding him forward. "And now a bit of a slope. Just take it slow and easy." He spoke clearly and deliberately, anticipating any obstacles and preparing the man for them. He wanted to make the journey as smooth and comfortable as possible. He reassured him every step of the way. As they walked slowly toward the entrance, Ali described everything around them. "We're passing a hot dog stand now," he said. "Smells delicious. And there are lots of people wearing Ali t-shirts. Everyone is really excited for the fight." He painted a picture with his words, allowing the man to experience the atmosphere even without his sight. The sounds grew louder as they approached the doors, the roar of the crowd, the music, the chatter. It could be overwhelming, so Ali spoke even more calmly. "We're almost there," he said. "Just a few more steps. There are a lot of people here, but don't worry, I've got you." He carefully guided him through the doorway, shielding him from the jostling crowd. He wanted to make sure the man felt safe and protected throughout the entire journey. He was his eyes now, and he took that responsibility seriously. Once inside, the noise was almost deafening. Ali led the man carefully through the crowded corridors, his hand gently but firmly guiding him. "We're heading towards the ringside seats," Ali explained, his voice raised slightly to be heard above the din. "It's a bit quieter over there." He described the scene around them, the bright lights, the bustling vendors, the excited fans waving banners. He pointed out the different smells, popcorn, hot dogs, and even the faint scent of liniment from the fighters' dressing rooms. He wanted the man to feel like he was truly part of the event, even though he couldn't see it. Finally, they reached a row of empty seats near the boxing ring. Ali helped the man sit down comfortably. "Here you go, sir," he said. "A perfect spot to hear everything. I hope you enjoy the fight." He made sure the man was settled before he even thought about leaving. His kindness was genuine. "Thank you, young man," the blind man said, his voice filled with gratitude. "You are a true blessing. I don't know what I would have done without you." He reached out and patted the seat beside him. "Please stay and enjoy the fight with me." Ali smiled. "I appreciate the offer, sir, but I have to go get ready. I'm actually one of the boxers fighting tonight." The man looked surprised, though of course, he couldn't really look. "Really? Well, I wish you the best of luck. You have a kind heart, and I'm sure that will help you in the ring. He paused. I'll be listening carefully. Tell me your name again, so I know who to cheer for. He was genuinely interested in supporting the young man who had shown him such compassion. He wanted to repay his kindness with his support. Ali smiled, a warm, genuine smile that reached his eyes. My name is Ali, he said clearly. As he stood up to leave, the man reached out and gently touched the fabric of Ali's robe. He recognized the smooth, cool silk and the intricate embroidery. It was a fabric he'd only ever heard described, a fabric associated with greatness. His eyes widened behind his dark glasses. A slow understanding dawned on his face. He knew that robe. He'd heard stories about it for years. Only one person wore a robe like that. He reached up again, his fingers tracing the letters embroidered on the back. Ali. A gasp escaped his lips. The realization hit him like a wave. It wasn't just any kind stranger who had helped him. It was Ali. Muhammad Ali. The greatest of all time. The boxer he had come to see. Tears welled up in the man's eyes, streaming down his face. He couldn't believe it. The greatest boxer in the world had taken the time to help him, a nobody. It was an act of kindness he would never forget. He reached out and grabbed Ali's hand again, holding it tightly. His knuckles were white. Ali, he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. Muhammad Ali. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. He squeezed Ali's hand even tighter, unable to express the depth of his gratitude with words. The roar of the crowd seemed to fade away as he sat there, overwhelmed by the moment. He had come to see a boxing match, but he had experienced something far more profound, the true meaning of compassion and humanity. He understood now that Ali was more than just a boxer, he was a true champion of the human spirit. The tears flowed freely now, tears of joy and overwhelming gratitude. Ali, deeply moved by the man's reaction, squeezed his hand in return. It was nothing, sir, he said humbly. Anyone would have done the same. But he knew deep down that not everyone would have. He glanced at Angelo, who was standing nearby, signaling that it was time to go. I have to get ready now, Ali said, his voice gentle. But I hope you enjoy the fight. I'll do my best to make it a good one for you. He smiled reassuringly, then turned and headed towards the dressing room, leaving the man alone with his thoughts and his tears. Later, after Ali had won the fight, reporters crowded around the blind man, eager to hear his thoughts. Ali's voice is big, the man said, his face still wet with tears. But his touch was bigger. He meant that Ali's fame and accomplishments were impressive, but it was his kindness and compassion that truly made him great. It was his willingness to help a stranger in need that defined him as a person. The story of Ali's kindness spread quickly, becoming a legend whispered throughout the arena and beyond. People realized that true strength wasn't just about winning fights, it was about helping others, especially those in need. The blind man's words, his touch was bigger, became a symbol of Ali's character. It showed that even the smallest act of compassion could have a profound impact on someone's life. It was a reminder that kindness speaks louder than words and that true greatness lies in the way we treat others. And so, on that night, in the heart of the roaring arena, Ali proved that he was more than just a boxer. He was a hero, not just in the ring, but in life. He showed the world that even in the midst of great personal challenges and ambitions, there is always time to offer a helping hand and a kind heart. He taught everyone a valuable lesson about empathy and the importance of looking out for one another. He was a true champion, inside and out. That night, as the crowds dispersed and the arena lights dimmed, the story of Ali and the blind man continued to resonate. It served as a powerful reminder that fame and fortune are fleeting, but kindness and compassion are eternal. The blind man went home with a story to tell, a story about a champion who saw beyond the boxing ring and into the heart of a fellow human being. He shared his experience with everyone he met, spreading the message of empathy and the importance of helping those in need. And somewhere, in a quiet room, Ali reflected on the night's events. He knew that winning the fight was important, but he also knew that helping the blind man was even more so. He understood that true victory lies not just in achieving personal goals, but in making a positive difference in the lives of others. He carried that lesson with him throughout his life, always striving to be a champion both inside and outside the ring. His legacy was one of strength, skill, and above all, unwavering kindness.